Hey everybody, it's TorontoUnicorn. So I loved doing the video recently called Partying My Ass Off in My Teens when I lived in the country, and you guys had some great comments and engagement with that video. And so here is part two. This one is called Partying in College Years, because I was technically still in my teens, but it was a very different time. So I'm young. I was born in 1983, so when I was young, I was always the youngest person in the grade, right? So I graduated high school at 17 and went to college at 17. So it was like a while before I could drink, okay? Like legally in my country, which is 19. So I moved out at 17, left the old country stuff behind. If you haven't seen that video, I hope you check it out. Here's a pic of the thumbnail so that you can find that video next. I moved out when I was 17 years old. I went to Durham College in Oshawa, Ontario, and I signed up for business administration. Now, I did end up switching my major halfway through, but that's what I started out with. And I moved into residence, and it was a glorious day, and I had my own space, my own bed, my own air, that like my parents weren't there. Like it was just the first sense of freedom. And I also did write a journal post on my website called The Day I Got My Freedom, and I included some photos actually of that day. If you want to check that out, that's on TorontoUnicorn.com. So then I basically started my college experience. Now, I was a partier, okay? I was a partier. Back then, I drank, and I drank a lot, and I wasn't even legal to drink, so that kind of caused me some problems that you'll hear about. But basically, I was still dating this guy named Denny. He was my country tractor-owning boyfriend for a few years. He also had a nice Mustang, by the way. And anyways, we ended up breaking up right around the time I was moving into college. And it was devastating to me, like devastating. I didn't handle the breakup well. I actually lost a significant amount of weight in a very short amount of time. Like I was just I thought we were gonna get married, and then he ended up marrying another girl like a few months after we broke up, like marrying her. It was pretty brutal. So anyways, I haven't even spoken to him since. That was many moons ago. Yeah, so basically we broke up. It took me a little bit of time to get over him. And then when I was in college, I started partying. And I mean like partying. We would get our alcohol somehow, we were still underage, and we would have no parents around, and I lived in residence. So there was like rules of residence, but there was really no curfew or anything like that. And oh my God, I had so much fun. This is literally a photo. I have to include it in this video because I found this when I was kind of going through my memories the other day. And this is the first day I moved into college, me lining up shots with some friends that I had made, showing that it was time to party. I was like, I'll take all of these. I took them all. They were shooters, not shots. I used to be more crafty with the cocktails and stuff. So basically I was 17 then. So I used to party, and then they had an on-campus pub. I don't remember the name of it now. There were nights that, even though I was underage, I was allowed to go, but they gave me a wristband. And the wristband was basically to say, don't serve me alcohol. Well, obviously, I was weaseled my hand out of that and got myself some drinks, and I got in trouble. And then I think I did it one more time, and then I got in big trouble. And every word of this is true. I had my student ID photo at Durham College blown up and taped to the wall of the pub, on-campus pub, with a sign that said, "Do not let her in." I swear, I even stole a copy in my scrapbook because it was so memorable to me. It was because I was underage. And so I had a meeting with the campus people, and they said that if I took Smart Serve, which is a responsible alcohol consumption course certification, then I could be allowed back into the pub. I was like, okay, fine. I take that course, and it inspires me to take a bartending course so that I can get better at drinking. So I did that too. And then I was allowed back in when I was 19. Yeah, I'm proud of some weird shit. I'm not gonna lie. If you were someone that got banned from a place because you were trying to be underage drinking, I'm proud. I wear that as a badge of honor. Boy Scouts, no, this is a Toronto Unicorn Scout. This is a badge of my honor. That might be some dishonor to other people, but it's honor to me. Anyways, So then I met some guys and I ended up dating a guy for 3 years that I met in college named Brian. And I just talked to him today. I actually just reached out to say hello. He's married now. He's got some kids with a lovely wife. So basically, I had this really unfortunate thing happen where there was this one guy that really liked me, and I didn't really like him as much back. I wished I did, but I didn't. He was a gentleman. He was a nice guy. And then there was Brian, and they both liked me at the same time. And I remember that this guy's name was Jeremy, and then this guy, he invited me out one night, and I was supposed to hang out with him, and then Brian wanted to hang out with me, and I was like, so I told him that my roommate got like dumped, and I had to like hang out with her. Like I blew him off, right? Anyways, I blow him off, and then I get, Brian picks me up. We go to the pub, and we got some chicken wings. And as I'm sitting there, Jeremy walks over to our table because he went to the exact same place at the same time after I blew him off. So that was a really awkward moment for me, and I did feel bad, and I still feel bad. I even tried to reach out to him recently to be like, just say, no, I still feel bad about that, but I couldn't find him on social media. But, when you really like someone, it doesn't matter who that other person is, they just kind of fizzle away. So it really was unfortunate at that time, but I did have a wonderful relationship with Brian, although our first night stand, we had a one night stand that went terrible. Like, I woke up the next day cringing while I told my friends, and I remember saying, I never want to see him again. And apparently he did the same. He went and like told his friends how terrible this thing was and that he never wanted to see me in the halls again of the school. And basically, we got drunk another time and like, had sex again, and it was better. And then we just like kept hanging out, and then we ended up falling in love and like having a really lovely, enduring relationship. So he was my first Prince Charming. I did want to marry him. I always thought that he was the one. I just think that unfortunately it didn't work out that way. And it took me a long time to get over Brian, but it was the right thing. I'm definitely not a maternal, domesticated person. And right now he's got a wife with children and all that. And I just think, some people, as much as you wanted them to be something to you, sometimes they are supposed to be something for a time, and then they're supposed to be something for someone else, right? So good luck to him. But basically, I used to hang out at his house all the time. He had a basement apartment with some other roommate, and we used to throw parties there. And then we actually had a friend that would literally sleep in the fucking bathtub. And I have to put a picture here because it's totally true. We have the best time. There's other stories. I did have this thing for a guy that it's called the Bellboy story, and I'll do a whole video on that because it deserves a whole video on that. But I have, as a demisexual, I don't get a lot of smitten crushes on people, and this guy, I was like leaving a puddle on my seat when he walked by. I don't know what it was, but I did get my big finale with him, and I'll tell you all about it in another video. But yes, I ended up graduating, and I ended up getting really good grades. Office administration was what my focus was, executive office administration. And then I ended up going to university. So I did end up on an academic scholarship in college, even though I was a crazy, I had detention, got suspended in high school, all these things. I just happened to date that country tractor owning guy for the right time, and he squared me up, man. He made me stop partying so much. I started studying. I ended up getting good grades. I got an academic scholarship, and I went to Durham College. So then I graduated, and unfortunately my boyfriend was a year behind, and so no matter what, there was going to be long distance. And so I think we did do the long distance thing for a year, but then the second year he actually did not get into the same school, and he had to go to another school that was 2 hours away. So we did the long distance thing. It just ultimately didn't work out, and that's really unfortunate, but that's how it goes, I did continue on my academic scholarship at another university in Kingston, Ontario. It was a specialty in psychology, and I also had a focus in women's studies. And believe it or not, I actually have a lot more to say about that in the next video, partying in my university years. But yeah, I've got some old content that I'm going to be putting on my website and stuff that you guys can take a peek at to see who I was back then, because I'm a pretty good record keeper. So I got the receipts, So I hope you enjoyed this story. This was my partying in college story as TorontoUnicorn, who wasn't TorontoUnicorn back then, but always had the essence inside of me. So thank you for listening again. Thank you for caring. If you want to keep hearing about my stories of my life, please leave a comment below, because that's why I did this one, because I heard your comments from the last one. So thank you.